If you have been following my little tying Kumihimo with fly fishing line journey, I'm trying out a different way to finish off these ends here because trying to melt them together just wasn't working. So I consulted the Google, or rather my mom did, and she found that you can use shrink wrap line. This heat shrink stuff. This is a little small, but I have a quick solution for that. So we are just going to trim these ends, still sew them up so they don't start falling apart when we cut the knots off, and start a quick montage. Since this is so long, I'm going to actually make it 2 different keychains. So I ended up sewing up the ends here by the knots so I can cut off these guys without these unweaving. And I went ahead and sewed in the middle here, and right here, so I can cut in between here and make 2 keychains. So we're going to end up trimming these up, and then we're going to try out our shrink plastic, heat shrink, whatever the heck it's called. Okay, now to get this done, we're going to have our little heat shrink guide, our braids, a heat gun. It's just some cheap ass heat gun, obviously. You can see how cheap it is that I got from Temu, but it works. I'm going to use this owl, not your hoot hoot owl, just this owl tool. It's super pointy because I'm going to have to make this a little bit wider, so I'm going to force it open to get over some of these spots. But we're just going to widen this out a little bit. I did this last night before I decided to embarrass myself recording all this, so I know it somewhat works. So it's a little bit wider, not much, but hey, it works. Now shove all of this in here. You don't want to get too much because you want to make sure that your end cap is going to fit and hide it. So that should be okay, I think. I'm not good. This actually worked out better than I thought. Now we're going to plug this bee in and heat it up. So that's essentially what it's going to look like. So we're just going to go ahead and montage doing the other parts of these. Okay, so this is ultimately what we want, but this took a little bit of finagling to get in here, so I'm going to try doing it in this one too. 10.5 was too big, so we are going with 7.5. You can see the difference in the size here. 7.5, 10.5. Here. Oh, there you go. 7.5, 10.5. Naturally, as always, I forgot my paper towel. And there you have it. I think this worked out a lot easier than trying to melt them. So the shrink plastic, or the heat shrink, whatever the hell it's called, way easier route to go. Okay, so here's what I made last time. Here's my little keychain stuff. There you have it. No fancy finish because I gotta go wake up my youngest, but this is what they look like. I think it worked out pretty well.
They're in fuego.
They're in fuego.